Are you tired of feeling overlooked? Have you been praying and praying for a financial breakthrough, but it feels like your prayers are hitting a ceiling? You've been a person of faith, you've stood on the promises in the Bible, and yet, you're still waiting. And let me be straight with you. That feeling isn't an accident, it's not a punishment, it's a part of a much bigger, more powerful plan from God. You are a chosen one, and I'm here to tell you that the very thing you've been praying for, a sudden divine transfer of wealth, is right around the corner. But here's the thing, and you need to listen closely. This isn't just a blessing, it's a test. And without the right preparation, this blessing could become the biggest curse of your life. The enemy wants you to get a taste of it and lose your way. But Jesus Christ wants to use it to elevate you to a purpose you can't even imagine. Today, we're going to dive deep into the scriptures and reveal exactly what you need to do and who you need to be ready for this moment. This isn't just about money, it's about your destiny. So don't you dare touch that button, because what you are about to learn could change the course of your entire life and your eternal one, forever. Sudden wealth as a spiritual test. Hello there, my friend. It's truly a blessing to be able to connect with you on this spiritual journey. There's something I gotta tell you, a truth that's been revealed to me through countless hours spent with the Bible and in prayer, a truth that many folks just don't get. You see, when a sudden flood of wealth comes your way, it isn't just some lucky break. Don't be fooled by the glitter, it's a test, plain and simple. This isn't just about getting a bunch of money, it's about what you do with it. Think of it like this. The Lord wants to see what's really in your heart before He trusts you with more. He's not just handing out blessings for no reason. He's looking for people of true faith, those who are faithful with a little and will be faithful with a lot. It's a bit like the story of the prodigal son, isn't it? He got his wealth and squandered it because his heart wasn't ready. Jesus Christ often spoke in parables to illustrate this very point. He's always teaching us that the condition of our heart is what truly matters, and a sudden influx of riches is the ultimate magnifying glass for the soul. This test, my friend, is a masterclass in self-discovery. A big windfall will reveal every little thing you've been hiding from yourself. Your deepest fears, your insecurities, the stuff you've been stuffing down all these years. That's why I'm here to tell you, don't get hung up on the money itself. The real blessing is the insight you're about to gain. It's like God holds up a mirror and says, see this? This is who you really are, and this is what we're going to work on together. And let me tell you, that can be a hard pill to swallow. It ain't always pretty, but it's always necessary for spiritual growth. You might discover a fear of not having enough that's been running your whole life, or maybe a sense of entitlement you didn't even know you had. The good news is, once you see it, you can deal with it. The Lord is a merciful Father, and He gives us these opportunities not to punish us but to purify us, to help us grow into the people He knows we can be. Now, you've probably wondered, why the wait? Why isn't it happening for me right now? That, my friend, is a question of faith. We're all in such a hurry, aren't we? We want it yesterday. But God operates on His own timeline, not ours. And thank goodness for that. You see, those delays, those seasons of waiting and scarcity, they aren't punishments. They're a preparation. They're the spiritual boot camp where you get to work on your character, learning to be content and faithful with what you have. It's in those moments that you truly learn to rely on the Lord, not on your bank account. The Bible is full of stories of people who had to wait for their blessings. Folks like Abraham, Moses, and David. They all had to go through a season of preparation before they could step into their purpose. This is exactly what Jesus Christ taught us about being faithful with a little before being given a lot. Luke 16:10. The Lord wants to eradicate every last bit of greed and insecurity from your heart before He hands you the keys to the kingdom. It's a beautiful process, really. Think of a goldsmith refining gold. He puts the metal in the fire to burn away all the impurities. That's what your season of waiting is doing for you. It's getting rid of the dross, the junk that would only cause problems later on. That nagging insecurity you have about money? The Lord is using this time to teach you that your security doesn't come from your finances but from Him alone. That desire to hoard everything for yourself? He's teaching you generosity and stewardship. I've seen it time and again in my own life and in the lives of those I've had the honor of mentoring. This isn't just talk. It's a living reality. Your character is being forged in this fire, and a strong character is a priceless possession. Remember, your faith is what matters, not your finances. So when that sudden wealth comes, and it will if you're a true believer, you'll be ready. You'll be able to handle it with grace and wisdom, because you won't be operating from a place of insecurity anymore. You'll be operating from a place of spiritual maturity. You'll understand that the money is just a tool, a means to an end, and not the end itself. It's a resource to be used for the Lord's kingdom, not a trophy to be displayed for your own glory. That's the key, my friend, the real secret that's hidden in plain sight. Jesus Christ is calling us to a higher purpose, and this is just another step on that path. But before we get to what to do with the money, let's talk a little bit about what the money itself will do to you. It's a powerful tool, and it'll either build you up or tear you down depending on what's already inside. Wealth amplifies the inner self. Gotta tell you, my friend, this is where things get really interesting. The whole shebang about sudden wealth isn't just about what's coming your way, but what's already inside you. See, a lot of folks think money changes people, right? They say, oh, he got rich and totally changed. But believe you me, that's just not the whole picture. What's actually happening is that the money acts like a megaphone, a powerful spotlight shining on the person you were all along. It doesn't put anything new in you. It just amplifies what was already there, hidden in the shadows. Your habits, your fears, your insecurities, even your deepest, most sincere faith. It all gets turned up to 11. It's like God is giving you a supercharged flashlight, and you're suddenly seeing every little thing in your spiritual closet, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Bible is crystal clear on this. The heart of the matter is the heart, and money just reveals its true condition. Think about it for a sec. Let's take a look at the rich young ruler who approached Jesus Christ. Matthew 19:16-22. He was a good guy, a respected member of his community, and he probably had a lot of good things going for him. But when Jesus told him to sell everything he had and give to the poor, his true love was exposed. It wasn't a love for God. It was a love for his possessions. The money itself wasn't the problem. It was what the money represented in his heart, his security, his identity, his comfort. On the flip side, you have a guy like Zacchaeus, Luke 19:1-10. He was a shady tax collector, but when Jesus called him out, the man's heart was revealed. He didn't just want to meet Jesus, he wanted to repent and make things right. His heart was already ready for change, and when the chance came, he didn't hesitate to give back fourfold. The money didn't make Zacchaeus generous. It simply gave him the opportunity to act on the generosity that was already planted deep inside his soul. This is why your season of not yet is so incredibly important. Don't you dare think of it as a punishment. It's a training ground, a spiritual boot camp. This is where God prepares you for what's ahead. See, it's easy to say you trust in the Lord when your bank account is empty, right? But what about when it's overflowing? That's a whole different ball game. The Lord is watching to see how you handle the little things, how you manage what you have right now. The Bible tells us in Luke 16:10 that whoever is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much. That's the real test of character. It's in the quiet times of scarcity that you build the spiritual muscles needed to carry the weight of abundance without stumbling. You learn to pray not just for provision but for wisdom. You learn to give not just from your excess, but from your trust in God's grace. Think of it this way. What you're doing right now is building the foundation for a skyscraper. You can't just pour the concrete and start building the penthouse suite the next day. No way, Jose. You've got to let that foundation set. You've got to make sure it's solid enough to hold everything that's coming. Your character is that foundation. The habits you're forming now, your prayer life, your generosity, your dedication to studying the Bible, your humility, those are the rebar and steel that will hold it all together. Without that, when the wealth comes, it'll be like a house built on sand. You'll be exposed to your own weaknesses, and you'll find yourself making decisions based on fear and insecurity instead of faith and spiritual guidance. The wealth won't be a blessing, it'll be a burden. So don't get all hung up on the delay. Embrace it. See it for what it truly is, a divine investment in you. This time is your opportunity to build an unshakable inner self, a heart that is so deeply rooted in Jesus Christ that no amount of money could ever shake it. The Lord is using this time to purify your motives, to make sure you're ready to be a good steward, not just a rich person. He's making sure that when the blessing comes, your first thought isn't about what you can buy for yourself, but about what you can do for His kingdom. But why does God protect you during this period of waiting? What's the real purpose behind all of this divine delay? The purpose of divine delay. Now, this is a tough one, I know. You're sitting there, praying, believing, and sometimes it feels like God just isn't answering. The money isn't showing up and you're thinking, what gives? But get this, that delay, That season of waiting, it's not a punishment, my friend. It's protection, a divine shield wrapped around you. Think of it like a beautiful new building under construction. Before they open it to the public, there's always a fence around it, right? It's not to keep people out for good. It's to protect them from falling debris, to keep them safe while the finishing touches are being made. That's exactly what God is doing with you. He's protecting you from premature exposure, from being a target before you're fully ready, before your faith is strong enough to handle what's coming. Trust me on this one. He's got your back. The Bible is full of examples of this kind of divine delay. I mean, look at Joseph. That guy went from being his father's favorite to being sold into slavery and then thrown into prison, all because of his brother's jealousy and a woman's lie. Talk about a detour. But every single one of those years wasn't a waste. It was a divine delay, a period of isolation where God was shaping his character, teaching him wisdom and discernment. This protected him from the fame and fortune of his dreams before he was ready to handle it. Imagine if his prophetic dreams had come true right away. He would have been a ripe target for his brother's bitterness and the world's jealousy. God knew exactly what he was doing. He was creating a man who could lead a nation, and that took time. The same goes for you. And here's another thing to chew on. That delay is keeping you safe from what I like to call leaky cups. You've got friends, family, and maybe even a few frenemies who are connected to your struggle, not your soul. They're there for you when you're broke because they're on the same level. But when the wealth comes, they'll see your blessings as a free-for-all, a source of endless supply for their own needs. Jesus Christ spoke about the importance of being discerning with our blessings, didn't he? He said, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." Matthew 7:6. The delay is God's way of giving you the space to figure out who's who, to build a strong spiritual discernment, so that when the blessings do come, you won't pour your anointing into people who will only drain you dry. And hey, I know that isolation can feel lonely sometimes. It's not a lot of fun to be on your own, is it? But this too is a part of the plan. This isolation is a gift from God. It's a way for Him to create some distance between you and the energy vampires, the people who would drain your time and your spiritual energy when you're in a position of abundance. This time alone with God, in prayer and in the Bible, is building your resilience. It's solidifying your identity in Jesus Christ, not in your relationships. It's making your faith so rock solid that when the crowds start to show up, you won't be swayed by their praise or their neediness. You'll be anchored in Him, and that's a protection more powerful than any bodyguard could ever be. So when you feel that pinch of delay, that sense of, what am I waiting for? Remember this, you are waiting for a very good reason. God is working behind the scenes, preparing you, protecting you, and giving you the spiritual armor you'll need to handle the massive responsibility that's coming. The isolation is a refining process. The delays are a strengthening one. He's not being silent. He's busy building a foundation for something truly monumental. He's preparing you for a purpose that's far bigger than yourself, a mission that's going to impact generations. And that, my friend, is a whole new ballgame. The true purpose of wealth, kingdom missions. All right, let's get real for a sec. We've talked about the test of wealth, the inner self stuff, and the purpose of the divine delay. But now we got to get to the meat and potatoes of it all. This next part is probably the most crucial piece of the puzzle, so listen up. Don't get it twisted. The wealth that's coming isn't for you to ball out. It's not for a mansion, a yacht, or a closet full of designer clothes. That's a human-level purpose, and what God is preparing you for is so much bigger than that. This wealth is a strategic resource, a divine download of capital meant to finance kingdom-level missions. This is a whole different ballgame. It's not about your personal glory. It's about fulfilling a purpose that will echo for generations. Your faith in Jesus Christ isn't just for your salvation. It's for the salvation of others. And this wealth is the engine to make that happen. So what exactly are these kingdom-level missions, you ask? Well, it's not just dropping a few extra bucks in the offering plate on Sunday, though that's a good start. We're talking about funding movements that change society. We're talking about creating legacies that outlive you. We're talking about solving systemic problems like building schools, creating clean water projects, or starting businesses that employ and empower entire communities. God is a strategic God, and He doesn't waste resources. He's looking for people who can be trusted with His money, people who see it not as a personal reward but as a tool for His kingdom. The Bible is our blueprint for this. You can see it in action everywhere, from the wealth of King Solomon being used to build the temple, 1 Kings 5:1-18, to the early church's generosity, where believers sold their possessions to care for one another, Acts 4:32-35. This isn't a new idea, it's a timeless truth. The thing is, your calling and your purpose are intricately linked to this wealth. It's not a random lottery win, it's a purposeful blessing. Remember that story about the widow and her 2 copper coins that Jesus Christ praised? Mark 12:41-44. He wasn't praising her for the amount of money she gave. He was praising her for the faith she had. She gave all she had, trusting that God would provide. That's the heart he's looking for. He's looking for a heart that says, Lord, this isn't mine, it's yours. Show me where to plant it. This wealth is a key that unlocks a new level of ministry, a new level of impact. And the best part is, you get to be a part of it. It's a divine partnership between you and God, and that's a wild ride for sure. This is a stewardship, my friend, a massive responsibility. It's not about finding a way to make yourself more comfortable. It's about finding a way to make the world a better place, a place that looks a little more like heaven. This money is meant to be used for something far beyond your personal lifestyle. It's for creating change, for bringing light into dark places, for showing people the love of Jesus Christ in tangible, practical ways. Your role as a chosen one isn't just about receiving a blessing, it's about becoming a channel for blessings. Your faith is the connection, and the wealth is the flow. It's about being a problem solver on a global scale. It's about building a legacy that will bless generations to come, a legacy of faith and generosity. So as you're preparing for this wealth, don't just think about what you want to buy. Start thinking about what you want to build. What problems in the world break your heart? What movements do you feel God is calling you to support? This preparation, this delay, all of it has been to get you ready for this very moment, to be a good steward of a great mission. But as you get ready to step into this new level of purpose, be aware that not everyone is going to cheer you on. Some of the people closest to you might react in ways you never expected, and that's where things get really interesting. Impact on relationships and identity and imposter syndrome. Here's the kicker, my friend. As you step into this next level, this new anointing, your relationships are going to get a major shakeup. And let me be straight with you. This part ain't always pretty. Your sudden success will, believe it or not, activate people who feel like you skipped the line. These are unhealed folks who will see your blessing not as a sign of God's goodness, but as a threat to their own progress. They'll be jealous and they'll try to find a way to tear you down, to discredit you. This is a serious test of your faith, a spiritual gauntlet you've got to walk through. The Bible warns us about this, about the envy and strife that can arise from a spirit of competition. James 3:16. It's a tough truth, but it's one you've got to face head-on with grace and discernment. You'll also experience a unique kind of isolation, and that's a whole different ball of wax. Your old friendships, the ones you had when you were struggling, will be put to the test. You'll have to figure out who was connected to your struggle versus who was connected to your soul. And let me tell you, that can be a painful process. Some people just can't handle your success because it reminds them of their own stagnation. Others will want a piece of the pie and will show up with their hands out, and that's a tricky situation to navigate. Jesus Christ knew all about this. He had a core group of disciples, but the crowds that followed him often did so for the wrong reasons. For a free meal, for a miracle, not for the spiritual truth. John 6:26-27. This wealth will be a spiritual filter, separating the wheat from the chaff in your relationships. And speaking of relationships, you're going to get hit with a whole new kind of temptation. Demon contracts disguised as business deals. You'll have people coming out of the woodwork with can't-miss opportunities, partnerships that look amazing on paper but have a sinister spiritual undercurrent. This is where your discernment, a quality that God has been building in you, becomes your most valuable asset. The enemy often works through the guise of prosperity, offering you a shortcut that will ultimately compromise your faith and your calling. This is why it's more crucial than ever to stay in prayer, to be rooted in the Bible, and to seek the counsel of trusted, spiritually mature mentors. As Jesus Christ said, "Be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." Matthew 10:16. Now here's a big one, a real challenge for your spiritual maturity, forgiving people from your past. As your light shines brighter, folks who hurt you before, who let you down, or who just disappeared will come crawling back. They might not offer an apology or provide any real closure, but forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's an act of faith, a decision to release the bitterness and resentment that would otherwise poison your heart and block your flow of blessings. Jesus Christ emphasized forgiveness not just as a one-time thing, but as a continuous practice. Matthew 18:21-22. It's a sign of a truly mature spirit, and it's essential for maintaining the inner peace that will be so vital for you to carry out your mission. You'll be blown away by how much lighter you feel when you finally let go of that baggage. Finally, as you navigate all these new challenges, you might just find yourself battling a sneaky little monster called imposter syndrome. You might think, is this really for me? Am I worthy of this? But let me remind you of something powerful. Your quiet preparation was legitimate. The months or years you spent in the wilderness, the spiritual work you did in secret, it was all real. This wealth is not a fluke. It's a divine appointment, an answer to your prayers and a result of your steadfast faith. You are worthy, my friend. You've been chosen for this, and every single step of your journey was designed to get you here. But remember, the journey isn't over yet. The final piece of the puzzle is all about embracing this new reality and letting go of the past completely. So, there you have it, my friend. The path to sudden divine wealth is less about the money and more about your heart, your purpose, and your preparedness. This journey is a testament to your faith and a direct call from God to a higher purpose. Now that you know the truth, what is one thing you will do this week to prepare your heart for the abundance that's coming? Share your answer in the comments below. And if this message spoke to your soul, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. It's the perfect next step on your spiritual journey, and it's appearing on your screen right now. Thank you for joining me. This is your friend Jose, signing off.